Hello, this is part 3 on how to make an origami Flying Scarab version 2. Part 1 and part 2 are linked in the description, and you should seriously do those before doing this, or else you won't get anything. Alright, so once this is our final product on what we will get this once we finish shaping our base, which we folded in the last video. Alright, so our base should look like this. 3 legs. 3 leg flaps, they're not legs now. 3 legs flaps, 2 elytra flaps, 2 wing flaps, 2 antennae flaps, and a body. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Alright, so first we will be doing the antennae. In the collapsing, we did not follow these lines and collapse it to make the different points in the antenna. And that is what we will be doing right now. So we have just take the right antenna for this once, and then we will look inside it and just pull out this flap from which the body follows. So just pull it out. Pull out everything, but not down here. So you have this. Alright, now following that flap, we'll make these sort of like creases, and then we'll just smush it together like that. Alright, so now we have this first point here with our line running all the way down from here, and we will just sort of pinch it over as so. We have this. It's like if you folded the ancient dragon before, this is how you make the claws. Or like many models use this technique. So now we're just going to continue doing that. A total of 3 times we will do that. So that's 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we have this little flap, which does sort of get annoying because you're going to have to sink it in. So now on each side, we will just fold this up. So it's like this right now. So now we will make it go on either side. And we flatten it again. And then now we just have a bunch of points over here. Maybe hard to see here, but there's a bunch of points. So now we will have to sink this corner in order to make our antennae very, well, not thick, because they're supposed to be ultra thin. This is single tissue, so it was actually pretty easy making them pretty thin. Double tissue will be hard, so that's another reason why you shouldn't use thick paper. So I'll just fold this in now, and we're gonna be like, actually it's your choice. You don't have to open sync it. You can just close sync it. So I'm just gonna open it. You got this little triangle here. Push that in and close it up. There you go. Close sync. Alright, now we'll just repeat that on this side. Open up here. Bring out the point that follows the body line, like this diagonal line. Oh god, don't tell me it ripped. Whatever. Okay, so now I have this, and we're following this line to make our triangle shape on the other side. Alright, so we have all our points here stacked up, and we will fold like this on either side. Alright, so now we got this side looking just like this one. Now all we have to do is spread sync it, actually close sync it, and then we'll shape the antenna further. Open up, make a triangle, push it, and flatten. If this may be a bit hard for you, you can just not fold it, but that might make it a bit thicker. Alright, now you have a choice here. You can either use like the real way and just spread sync or open sync each of these sides with this thinner, but that is not my way. What I did is I just sort of pinched it and just pulled the points apart. It still makes it thin, but not like officially thin. So I'm just going to take each point and pinch it to make the feathery antenna that scarab beetles have and dung beetles. So normally I would use glue as I did in this model, but right now I will not be using glue. I'll just be doing like an overall shaping thing, or else it'll take like 2 hours to finish the whole thing. It takes a long time to shape. So I have all the 4 points jumbled up here. Normally scarab beetles have way more than 4 points, but this is just to show that it does have points. Feathers. And unfortunately with double tissue, you really can't get thinner than this. So it looks like a hand, sort of, but it works. And I just want to bend it like this. So we have an antenna. And this one's actually facing, the one and that one's actually facing outward. Doesn't matter which way it's facing. Alright, so one antenna down, another one to go. Tweezers would be very helpful here. Okay, good. I got all the antennae separated. And now, just pinching it and thinning the antennae more. There, they're all thin, and now we will move on to the bottom. So our antenna are all ready. We'll do the head after we do the bottom. So to shape the bottom, you don't want like a straight back bottom. They do have rounded bodies, but I sadly couldn't figure out a way to make the body like 3D. Like lots of good insect models are. Okay, so to do that, you should have this little flap thing. And now we're just gonna simply push this out while sinking the side corners. Actually, I actually got a little bit of stuff stuck in there, and if that happens to you, it's alright. All you want is a little triangle tip on the end. You can do whatever you want to achieve that. Alright, so I have a little triangle tip at the bottom. And now just to shape that, we will just do a tiny point back. Alright, now for the head. As you can see, there's a bunch of little layers down here. We'll take one of the layers or more if you want it to be thicker, and just pull it up like around, this should be 1/4 of the whole thickness. So that should be 1/4 of the whole thickness. So we have a little beetle head. Try making the both of the sides symmetrical. And it does really look funny with these really thick antennae. Alright, now we will continue shaping the body by pleating one down from here. We'll pleat one down from here, one over. So just pleat over. Alright. So now once you've done that, you will want to use glue to glue it here. That's what I did here. Or if you're like a pure origamist, then you can just press down really hard or put it on top of some books overnight. So right now I'm just going to leave this loose with no glue, but you should seriously glue that. Alright, now we will pleat the body, because once the insect takes off its elytra, then it has a bunch of pleats here. Normally scarabs do have smooth backs and just one line through the middle, but now because the elytra is off of its back, it should have these little stripes, pleats. So it's going to be really hard to do a double tissue, but it'll work. You'll be able to make tiny pleats, lots of them. Go through the whole thick layer, or just pull out some paper from the bottom to make it thin. I'm just going to go with the thickness. And to lock it, you may want to just push in the sides a little, or use glue. So we got one pleat. And this really does like pull off often after like a few days. So glue is a good idea. So right now I'm using a pretty small paper, and the paper is thick, so I'm just going to do 3 pleats. Like this. So if you want, you can definitely add more. And actually one more thing, to make this body a bit less longer, you could do a small pleat here too. So that's a lot of pleats in the main body. I wish I found a way to just like add the pleats with the box pleating, like Coda My Scorpion or Flying Scarab. Many of those models are great, and they have very detailed backs along with the model. Alright, so we have the body done. This one was way thicker, so I could make this pleat larger so that the space was less, and it looked more like a scarab. Like it looked slightly plumper. Okay, there we go. Now it's time for our legs, not our legs, the beetle legs, and then we will do the elytra and the wings. Alright, so for the legs, if you use a giant paper, you could really like do some little pleats here and give it like some spikes to make it real detailed, but I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it a bit simple. And now, as many of you may know, that scarab front legs have lots and lots of spikes. So to do that, to get the maximum amount of spikes possible, we will just like this rabbit ear it, and turn it over. And once you see this, you want to just rabbit ear one layer, only one layer, like the inside layer. Then reverse fold it. Just reverse fold it, but only the inside layer. Don't do anything with the top layer. Alright, so for the top layer, we'll just try our best to wrap it around. And while we're wrapping around, just twist this here so you get one more spike on the top. I know that really doesn't work, but like if you twist the paper enough, then it'll work. So got one spike there, and then we can just lift this rabbit ear over to add another spike and take this forward. So we got two spikes in the end of the leg, which you can also curve to make a spike. That's really the maximum amount of spikes you can make possible without wasting any leg space. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. So now to shape it more, we'll just thin it even more and push it under the wings. Because when they're flying, their legs are mostly under, and then their wings are just, and elytra are just covering up the whole thing. Alright, so it should look like this in the back. Just a nice view of the front. Oh, whoops, that's a bit too close. And now we'll do it on the other side. And then we'll do the back legs. We'll do a rabbit ear. Alright, and then turn it over. Reverse fold only one side on the inside. And twist this layer back, but keep that point to make it real thin. And add another spike. Now take this spike up while twisting the leg forward. So if you just don't want to do this, you can just make it a normal leg and no spikes. Now we'll just thin it even more. Thin the spikes and twist the leg upwards under the body. You can show it out to the side if you want, like this one's splayed out. Oh my god, what happened? This one's splayed out, so the bottom of this one is really messy because single tissue is really hard to work with. Like double tissue, which is pretty clean. Okay, so we have our front legs ready or finished, and now we have our back legs left. So these ones are just easy. Rabbit ear to the side. Make a small spike over here if you want. That's an opinion. Option. And then you can just pinch them even more. And the two hind legs go back. They go back. While the four hind legs go back, while the two front legs go forward. So these two go back. While these two go front. Now the back leg will be a pretty thick one. And you have to fold it underneath this one. Yeah, see? These actually do unfold. So keeping a bit of glue there would be really handy. But it'll take time to put the glue there and then hold it. So I won't show that in this video. It's really easy. Just take a little dab of glue, stick it in there, hold down, and hold for like 30 seconds. Okay, so we have all of our legs. Actually, no, I have this one missing. Rabbit ear. Over to the side. Twist down. Now I'm just gonna give some fine tuning to these legs so they don't look crazy. So they're symmetrical on both sides. You don't have to do that, but I like it when my models are symmetrical, unlike, well, except for models which are not symmetrical. Alright, so my body is starting to look very funny here, so I'll pleat it like a lot. There, that's better. Alright, now we are almost done with the shaping. All we have to do now is the elytra and the wings. So take the front legs just down, so we can focus on our elytra. So to do the elytra, we're gonna have to fold it down and back up so you can find where the base is over here. Fold it down and back up, get that baseline over there, right on top of this. And then fold it along like a bit higher than the baseline, like at a 30-degree angle over there. Like that. Fold it down, just this front layer. These front 3 layers. Alright, and once you have that, you turn it over and you have an elytra. And just to round it up, just fold the end back. So there's our elytra on one side. Do that same on the other side. Fold down. Oh, that's not the baseline. I need to hold it like down, lower, and fold back the end. So we have our 2 elytra. And now just for the wings. You want to open up the right side of one of these long wing flaps, and then you want to take this little like pleat and pull it out, creating a wing. I like to like sort of let it go over here so the wing stays a bit tweedy, and we can also fold this back. And if you want your wing to be like a bit more thicker than this, you can pull out the next one, but I feel like this is thick enough. And now you just twist it or pleat it down so that it goes under the elytra. You don't want it going over the elytra, because that's not how it is. So we have it going under the elytra, not over. Like that. So it is really messy on the back side. But I guess that's what you need. So now take your front leg back up under the wing, and we'll do the same for the other wing. Open this up, pull this out. Leave a little space so it becomes 3D. Fold this down. Oh, whoops, wrong side. Fold this down and pleat so that it goes under, not over the elytra. Alright, so we are done shaping this model. Now all you have to do is just give it the final touches, move the legs, shape it out so it looks nice and clean, add glue to the model, and yeah. You can pose the legs if you want to give it like some pose, like with its legs like this, like it's praying or something. I myself want to give it like a normal flying pose, like just like you see in museums, like the dead bugs. And one thing is, don't thin the front legs, because if you thin the front legs too much, it really won't look like a scarab. It'll look like a, I don't know what it'll look like. Thin the front legs. And the front legs will be hidden under the wings, unless you want them to be splayed out in a pose. So that's it. Thank you for watching this video.